Welcome to the Google Cloud Security Showcase, a special web series where we'll focus on security use cases that customers can solve with Google Cloud. My name is Aspen Cheryl, and I am a cloud security architect at Google. Today, we're discussing VPC Service Controls, or VPCSC in short, our solution for preventing data exfiltration from managed services in Google Cloud. Specifically, we'll be discussing some basic day zero steps that should be part of any VPCSC deployment. VPCSC is intended to prevent unauthorized data exfiltration from inside your org to outside your org via Google Managed Services. The basic idea is you put projects into your perimeter, then restrict the services you want VPCSC to protect, and then allow list flows as needed. There's some steps you can follow to help get your perimeter up and running. First, create your perimeter in dry run mode and add your projects to it. Just projects. Don't add VPC networks unless you've got a specific corner case and someone at Google tells you to. Doing all this in the Cloud Console is fine when you're first getting started, and it's a great way to get to know the control and how everything works. Just bear in mind, in the long term, you'll want to automate everything into tooling like Terraform. But console is fine in the early stages. See our video on dry run mode for more details on dry run, and our video on architecture and design to land on what the final state of your perimeter should look like. But next, you'll add the services you want VPCSC to protect. Google's best practice recommendation is to perimeterize all projects and protect all services. The reason for this is that any unprotected projects or services are potential exfil vectors out of your org, which is exactly what VPCSC is intended to prevent. But if this is just a POC, you may not need to protect everything at first. Just bear in mind that the final state of a production perimeter should ideally include everything to minimize your potential attack surface as much as possible. The next step is going to be low-hanging fruit. This includes things like configuring private Google access for your own Google Cloud workloads and making sure your organization's own employees are allowed listed in so they can perform their day-to-day job duties. The most common way for organizations to do this is with a combination of private Google access for on-prem, for CLI or SDK traffic, and an access level with their own corporate CIDR range if they use VPNs and hairpin their employees' traffic back on-prem. So it then egresses their own corporate proxies via their own corporate IP space. That allows lists in their employees' console traffic and ensures that their employees have to be on VPN to access the company's cloud resources. Next up, you're going to monitor violations. Since VPCSC is, by default at this point in time, configured at the org level, but enforced at the project level, violations are surfaced at the project level. For a small POC, auditing logs project by project might be fun. But in the long run, you're going to want to set up a log sync to get aggregated, human-readable logs that will tell you what's really happening in your environment. Next up, you'll start allow listing additional legitimate flows. Watch our video on auditing and allow listing to get an idea how to go about this. But following the previous step and aggregating your logs will get you a pretty easy starting point. The TLDR is you want to identify the heavy hitters, then check the supported products and limitations page, and then talk to app developers if necessary to learn what their flows should look like. And then you'll create rules as appropriate to allow list those flows. You might also have to talk to partner teams or vendors for some of those legitimate first or third-party flows, like security scanners or IAC tooling. After you've done all your auditing and allow listing, you're then ready to move your configuration to enforced mode. As new apps or flows are onboarded, you'll have to update the perimeter accordingly. Maintenance of a VPCSE perimeter is very similar in concept to managing a corporate next-gen firewall. It is an active security control that needs actively maintained and updated according to the legitimate flows going in and out of your environment. That means, like firewalls, maintaining VPCSE is an iterative process. You'll make changes in dry run to test them first, then rinse and repeat. And while you want to stay on top of things, don't stress too much over missing a new flow. Just like with firewalls, if VPCSE is blocking something, you're probably going to hear about it. So to recap, to deploy VPCSE, start in dry run mode and perform all the necessary auditing and allow listing. Addressing low-hanging fruit early on is a great way to clean false positives out of your logs, unless you focus on identifying legitimate inter-org flows that need allow listed before you can move to enforced mode. Once you're in enforced mode, rinse and repeat. Test changes in dry run before deploying them to the enforced config. Make sure to watch our Day 2 operations video for more best practices on how to simplify managing and maintaining your VPCSE parameters once your perimeter is up and running. To learn more about VPCSE, watch our other videos or visit our product page.